You think you've got time? You think the universe owes you patience? Let me break that delusion in half. God's karma doesn't wait. It stalks, it circles, and when it hits with fire. You've been playing soft in a world that doesn't care if you live or rot. You've been hiding behind hope, praying that someday, somehow things will click for you. But guess what? That someday is a myth, and you're not waiting. You're decaying, piece by piece, day by day, while the clock carves your name into the side of a coffin. This world is war, life is war, and you're walking into a battlefield, every morning dressed like a civilian begging for mercy, wondering why you're getting torn apart. You're not being punished, you're being hunted. Hunted for your weakness, hunted for your comfort, hunted for your fear. And here's the bitter truth. Karma isn't some pretty little circle. It's a goddamn hammer. And it's raised high, aimed directly at your complacency. You don't need motivation, you need to be ripped from your sleep and slammed into reality. You need war drums in your ears and blood on your hands. You need the pain. Because comfort is your poison, and it's killing you slowly. Look in the mirror. Really look. What the hell are you becoming? A shell? A maybe someday? A grown adult still crying over wounds from a decade ago? You think that's okay? You think the world gives a damn about your reasons? No. The world doesn't listen to your pain. It responds to your power. And right now, you're running on empty. You haven't been pushed far enough. But that ends now. Because this is the reckoning. This is the storm where karma crashes through your delusions with fire and screams, "Time's up." You either change now, or get buried under the weight of everything you failed to become. You want peace? Earn it in war, because no peace is free, no success is handed out. Everything worth having is guarded by fire, blood, and pain, and if you're not willing to crawl through the flames, you'll never touch it. You say you're tired? Good. That means you're finally feeling the weight of the life you've chosen. Now use that. Use the rage. Use the fear. Use every goddamn scar on your body and build something that can't be broken, because karma doesn't care about your potential. It only respects the savage who gets up, bleeds, and keeps going. You want soft words? Turn around. This ain't for you. This is for the warrior trapped inside the coward. This is for the beast suffocating under your excuses. This is for the part of you that's been dying to scream but buried beneath fake smiles, shallow comfort, and meaningless distractions. You've been lied to. You've been told you have time, that you can wait, that you can figure it out. No, karma is coming, and it's not waiting for your schedule. It's not coming in a whisper. It's coming with thunder. And the question is, will it break you, or will it ignite you? Because understand this, if you don't rise now, you will fall forever. This isn't about motivation. This is about domination. It's about unleashing that dark fire inside you that doesn't care about fear, doesn't flinch at failure, and refuses to be average. So here's the line. Here's the call. This is where you stand the fuck up. Or die laying in the dirt. Forgotten. God's karma is coming. And this time, it's permanent. Let's tear open the next wound. Because what's keeping you down isn't fate or bad luck or the system. It's you. It's the lie you keep telling yourself to justify your stagnation. You whisper it every time things get hard. I'm stuck. No, you're not. You're just soft. You're not stuck. You're scared, lazy, undisciplined, entitled. You built a prison with your own two hands, called it circumstance, and then threw away the key. Pathetic. You convinced yourself that your past trauma gives you a free pass. You wear your pain like armor, but it's not armor, it's a straitjacket. You keep hugging your scars like they're holy, but they're chains and they're choking the life out of you. You say you want change? Then stop defending your weakness, because here's the real problem. You like the lie, it protects you. It gives you an excuse to stay in the dark, to not risk, to not fight. Because if you're stuck, then it's not your fault, right? If life is unfair, you're just a victim, right? Bullshit. You are not a victim. you're a volunteer. Every time you choose comfort over courage, you're volunteering for mediocrity. Every time you stay silent when you should speak, every time you scroll instead of build, every time you whine instead of work, you're signing your own death certificate. Let's talk about your dreams, the ones you just don't have time for. The ones you keep saying you'll chase once things settle down. Newsflash, things don't settle. Life doesn't calm the hell down so you can tiptoe through it. You either dominate it now or it devours you later. You keep saying you're overwhelmed. That's not overwhelm, that's weakness. That's what it looks like when discipline dies and distractions take the throne. You don't need more time, you need more spine. You don't need motivation, you need to shut the hell up and do the work you keep avoiding. You don't need a better plan. You need to stop lying about how hard it is. Because let me tell you something brutal. Your life is exactly where your standards are. Look around, your job, your body, your mind, your relationships. It's all a reflection of what you've allowed, what you've tolerated, what you've excused. You let mediocrity move in and now you're shocked it won't leave? You don't need more prayers, you need a purge. Purge the lies, purge the excuses. Purge the soft version of you that keeps begging for a way out instead of charging headfirst through the damn wall. Let's go deeper. You say you're waiting for the right moment. But moments don't rescue cowards. Moments obey savages. You want your shot? Then force it into existence, rip it from the jaws of time and bend it into your own legend. Because the lie you believe, it's the most dangerous enemy you've ever known. It's the voice that says, you're too late. You're too broken. You're not ready. That voice is not your ally. It is a traitor. It wants you soft. It wants you slow. It wants you dead. And every time you feed it, you kill the part of you that was born to conquer. You tell people you're working on it. You post quotes, you journal, you meditate. Cool. But where are the results? Where's the blood? Where's the sweat? Where's the transformation? If your life doesn't look different, you're not working, you're playing pretend. Stop waiting for karma to bless you when you haven't earned 1 ounce of divine mercy. You want God to reward your laziness? God's not your therapist, He's your judge. And the verdict is coming. The universe doesn't hand out crowns, it makes you earn them in war. Here's the truth you've been running from. You are capable of changing everything. But only once you kill the lie that says you can't. You're not stuck. You're soft. And softness is a choice. One you made every time you hit snooze. Every time you took the easy route. Every time you bit your tongue when the world needed your roar. You want your life back? Then burn the lie. Burn the story. Burn the comfort. Burn the weak identity you've built and step into the version of you that's too damn dangerous to be ignored. Because that version is waiting. Buried under guilt. Chained behind your excuses. Starving inside a cage of your own design. But it's there. And it's angry. And it's ready to break through. But only if you stop feeding the lie. Only if you stop protecting the very thing that's destroying you. You're not waiting on a sign. This is the sign. God's karma is coming. And if you keep hiding behind the lie, it will crush you. But if you face it, if you grab it by the throat, if you finally scream back at every doubt, every failure, every voice that told you you can't, you will become unstoppable. Now stand in front of the mirror, look into your own eyes, and say the words that will either save you or damn you. No more lies, no more softness, no more waiting, because karma is coming. And if you're still soft when it arrives, you don't survive. Let's drop the mask. Let's put your feelings in a coffin and bury them next to your excuses. Because this right here is where the truth lives. And it ain't pretty. It doesn't whisper, it doesn't soothe, it screams, it cuts, and it doesn't care if it offends you. Here it is. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not the system, not your goddamn horoscope. You've been waiting for some cosmic rescue, a lucky break, a perfect moment, a savior. Wake the hell up, there is no rescue, there is only war. And in war you either sharpen your blade or you get buried with the rest of the weak. You think someone's going to show up and hand you the life you want? They're not. Because everyone is fighting their own battles. Everyone is bleeding. Everyone is crawling through fire trying to keep themselves alive. They're not thinking about you. And that's not cruelty, that's reality, that's the battlefield. You're not entitled to help. You're not owed comfort. You're not special because you've suffered. You're not exceptional until you earn it. So stop waiting for someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, "It's your time." It's never your time. It's only ever your turn. And if you don't take it, someone else will. Here's another bitter pill. You're not doing enough. Not even close. You've convinced yourself you're grinding. You've convinced yourself you're trying. But your actions, they're weak, half-hearted, delusional. They look like effort to people who quit before they start. But to the ones who are truly in the fire, you're sleepwalking. You show up when it's convenient. You work when it feels good. You move with hesitation instead of hunger. You don't want it bad enough. Not yet. Because if you did, you wouldn't need motivation. You wouldn't need reminders. You'd be tearing through walls, ripping doors off hinges, and carving your name into the battlefield with your bare damn hands. Let's stop pretending you're the victim of anything but your own neglect. You let yourself rot while calling it healing. You drowned in distractions and labeled it self-care. You stayed silent when you should have fought, and you called it being mature. No. What you were was scared, cowardly, and comfortable in your suffering. But pain isn't a prison unless you let it be. You want the raw truth? Hear it. Your pain isn't unique. It's not sacred. It's not a reason to stay stuck. It's fuel. And if you're not using it to build, to burn, to evolve, then all you're doing is bleeding out and blaming the knife. You say you've been hurt? Good. Pain is the price of greatness. Suffering is the currency. You don't get to be legendary without dying 100 little deaths and coming back with fire in your eyes and ash in your lungs. You think the greats were comfortable? You think they waited until they felt ready? No. They suffered. They bled, they clawed, they lost. And then they rose again, meaner, hungrier, and more dangerous than ever before. So the question isn't, why am I suffering? The question is, what the hell am I doing with it? The raw truth is this: you are not owed peace. You must earn it through war. You are not owed success. You must forge it with fury. You are not owed understanding. You must become so powerful that the world has no choice but to see you. You want respect? Then stop being forgettable. Be the person no one can ignore. Be the storm. Be the reckoning. Be the goddamn consequence for everything that tried to destroy you. You still think your comfort matters? You still think your emotions are sacred? Let me tell you what your comfort zone really is. It's a graveyard. It's where dreams are buried. It's where your potential dies. It's the padded room where average lives and excellence is executed. And the longer you stay there, the more your fire fades. Until one day all that's left is a cold, forgotten version of you that almost did something great, but didn't. Not because they couldn't, but because they refused to go through hell to get it. You want the rawest truth of all. This is your fault, and that is your power. Because if it's your fault, then you can fix it. If you created this reality, then you can destroy it and build a new one. But only if you stop pretending, only if you stop lying, only if you finally step into the war that is your life and fight like hell to win it. There's no secret, no hidden door, no soft path. There's only the grind, the blood, the battle, and there's only you at the center of it all. So burn this into your mind. No one is coming. No one cares. And that's perfect. Because now, you're free. Free to build. Free to suffer. Free to conquer. Free to rise with no permission, no support, no applause, just your own goddamn will. And that is the ultimate power. Because once you stop waiting to be saved, you become unstoppable. Let's talk about what happens when you ignore the call, when you stay soft, when you choose comfort instead of confrontation, when you trade greatness for safety. You think the world's gonna wait? You think karma's gonna keep knocking politely? No. Karma doesn't whisper forever. It warns. It waits. And then, it reeks. It comes like a plague, like a storm, like a goddamn reckoning. And when it hits, there are no second chances. just wreckage. You want to know what happens if you don't change? You rot from the inside out. That fire inside you, it doesn't go out all at once. It flickers, fades, suffocates slowly, until all that's left is ash. Memories of dreams you never chased because you were too goddamn scared to suffer for them. And that's hell. Living while already dead. Eyes open, soul closed. You stay weak, you stay broke. You stay weak, you stay forgotten. You stay weak, and life becomes a slow, grinding punishment. Not because life is cruel, but because you refuse to become strong enough to carry what was meant for you. You were built for fire, but you settled for smoke. You were born to lead war horses, but you crawled with sheep. And now the throne that had your name on it, taken by someone meaner, hungrier, less entitled, more willing to suffer. Let's look at the consequence in its full, ugly face. You grow older, but not better. You wake up one day, knees aching, eyes heavy, heart empty. You open your phone and scroll through the highlights of lives you should have had. People who took their pain and made it power. People who turned trauma into empire. And you? You stayed where it was safe. You clung to your excuses like a baby clutches a blanket. You kept saying, tomorrow, next year, when I'm ready. And then, time buried you. You think you're stuck now? Try getting out when the world has already moved on without you. Try changing when regret has wrapped its hands around your throat and whispers, you had your shot. That's karma. Not lightning, not drama. Just reality catching up with your cowardice. Here's what weakness looks like. It's not just failing, it's settling. It's seeing the war, knowing you should enter it, and walking away because it looks hard. It's watching your own destruction happen slowly, while convincing yourself it's self-care. It's calling yourself a realist when you're actually just afraid. Afraid to lose, afraid to bleed, afraid to try and come up short. But here's the truth. Coming up short is better than never swinging at all. Because the ones who never swing, they don't just lose the game, they lose themselves. You know what hurts more than failure? The moment you realize you've run out of chances. No more youth to waste. No more energy to chase. No more strength to fight. And the clock, it doesn't stop. It doesn't care. It just ticks, louder and louder until it drowns out your delusions. You'll try to shout over it, try to run from it, but time always wins. Because karma has patience. More patience than you. Still want to be soft? Still want to be realistic? Still want to wait until it's perfect? Good, then watch. Watch someone else take what should have been yours. Watch someone else break the chains you refuse to shatter. Watch someone else build a kingdom from the bricks you left lying in the dirt. And you? You'll sit in silence. You'll sit in shame, because deep down you'll know the truth you ran from. You weren't unlucky, you were weak. Let me tell you what karma does to the weak. It devours them, bit by bit. It starts with missed chances, then forgotten dreams. Then the identity starts to erode. You look in the mirror and don't recognize who you've become. No fire, no grit, just a husk, a used to be. A shadow of the warrior you never had the guts to become. And here's the killer. Weakness is a choice. It always was. You weren't born with it. You built it. Every day you avoided pain, every day you said maybe later. Every time you chose comfort over confrontation, you built your own prison. And now you want out. But the doors are locked from the inside. Only you have the key. Only you can burn it all down and start over, but the longer you wait, the harder it becomes. The more permanent the karma gets. This is the moment you need to see clearly. This is the moment where your soul has two paths. Break, stay weak, stay stuck. Let karma swallow you whole. Burn, rise, fight, transform. Become the storm that karma itself fears. Because karma isn't just punishment, it's balance. And if your actions don't tip the scale toward power, then prepare to be crushed by the weight of your own inaction. So ask yourself, what does your weakness cost you? What does your hesitation steal? What has your comfort robbed from you already? And how much more are you willing to lose? Because one day soon, karma won't be a warning. It'll be a consequence. Permanent, brutal, unforgiving. And when that day comes, there is no speech that can save you. No pity, no redo. Just the cold final reality of a life not lived. Enough of the silence, enough of the shame, enough of bowing to weakness like it's your God. Now you rise. Not gently, not gracefully, but violently. Like a storm ripping roofs off the world. Like a beast breaking through the cage built by years of fear, doubt, and excuses. This is not a redemption arc. This is a resurrection. And resurrection hurts. It costs blood. It demands pain. But you were built for this. You were forged for this. You don't get reborn by lighting candles. You get reborn by lighting yourself on fire and watching the old version of you scream as it burns. The same fire that nearly killed you, use it, make it your fuel, make it your anthem, make it your weapon. Because everything that tried to break you, everything that made you small, everything that told you you're not enough, you owe it one thing: revenge. You think pain is the enemy? No. Pain is the price. You don't level up without paying it. You don't evolve without earning it. Comfort is a liar. Comfort is a coffin with silk pillows. And every time you chose it, you buried yourself a little deeper. Now you climb out. Now you rip the dirt off your chest, crack your knuckles, and fight for every damn inch you gave up. You want power? Then you suffer. You suffer loud. You suffer proud. Because pain is the proof that you're awake, that you're in the fire, that you're not some hollow drone walking in circles. Pain is the signal, and the strongest signal says, you're still alive. This is the rise. Not the fake one you post about, not the romantic one with music and rain and Instagram filters. The real rise. Ugly, bloody, violent, full of scars, full of rage, full of hunger. You will not meditate your way into power. You will not journal your way into dominance. You will break. You will rebuild. You will bleed. And then you will reign. There is no secret. There is only suffering, and what you do with it. Some stay broken. Some stay bitter. But you turn that suffering into steel. You grind it into a blade. You aim it at everything that tried to bury you, and you swing. Understand this. Rising is not about motivation. It's not about feeling good. It's about becoming something so dangerous that failure starts to fear you. You wake up every day like it's war. You move like your life depends on it, because it does. You train when you're tired. You fight when you're hurt. You build when no one claps. You bleed when no one watches. And when you fall, you crawl forward with your teeth. They said you were done. They said you peaked. They said, let it go. Let them talk. Let them choke on your silence while you grind in darkness. Let them scream when they see you return. Because this version of you, it doesn't ask, it takes. This is war. And in war, there's no space for the old you. No room for the coward. No room for the victim. So let them die. Let the weak parts rot. Let the soft, scared shell of who you were finally dissolve into ash. And from that, the weapon is born. You want to change? You want to rise? Then, earn it. You get up earlier. You go harder. You stop negotiating with the voice in your head that tells you to quit. You starve the part of you that wants to stay average. You train that beast inside of you to hunt. The world doesn't care about your tears. It cares about what you become because of them. So become the nightmare. Become the thing your old self prayed you'd never be. Unstoppable. Not because you're fearless, but because you're done being ruled by fear. Done sitting, done sulking, done blaming. Now, you burn, you bleed, and you build. You think rising is an event? No. It's a decision. Repeated daily. When it's dark. when you're alone, when no one believes in you, when everything tells you to go back to being small. You spit in its face. You say no, and you drag yourself forward anyway. This is your rise, your war, your return, your reckoning. You are not meant for the middle. You are not born to watch. You are not crafted for comfort. You were built to take hits and keep swinging. You were designed to be feared, and now the world is going to remember exactly what you're made of. Not because you told them, because you showed them. With results, with blood, with fire. So rise now, but don't rise soft. Rise brutal, rise permanent, rise so damn loud. They feel it in their bones. Because the monster is awake now. And it's hungry. And it's coming. There's nothing left to explain. Nothing more to coddle. You've heard the truth. You've seen the price. You've bled through the fire. Now comes the line in the sand, the final order. Get up. Not later. Not when it's convenient. Not when the stars align. Now. Because if you don't rise this second, you might as well stay dead. This isn't inspiration anymore. This is execution. This is the call that echoes through the ruins of your comfort zone. This is the knock at the door from karma. And she's not coming to talk. She's coming to collect. Understand this. There is no mercy left. The clock is ticking, and every second you hesitate, another part of your soul rots. You don't get infinite time. You don't get to figure it out someday. You don't get to wait until you feel like it. That's what the weak do. That's what the lost whisper to themselves while their dreams decompose in silence. But you're done with that lie. You're done waiting for a savior. No one's coming. No angel. No mentor. No perfect moment. No second chance wrapped in a pretty little box. This is it. You are the god now. You are the hammer. You are the reckoning. So what are you going to do? Stand still? Keep analyzing the battlefield while your opportunity bleeds out? Or are you going to move? Are you going to rise like you said you would? Are you going to turn this pain into power? This silence into a scream? This rage into warfare? Because let me tell you this, all your excuses, all your fears, all your reasons why you're not ready, they don't matter. They never did. The world doesn't care about your explanations. It only understands one language: dominance. You want respect? Take it. You want freedom? Earn it. You want to live like a legend? Then kill the coward inside of you and build a warrior from the bones. You don't need more time. You need more grit. More hate for your own mediocrity. More rage at every moment you let slip by. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are not a statistic unless you choose to be. And right now, in this moment, you choose. You choose war or surrender. You choose fire or decay. You choose vengeance or a quiet grave no one remembers. This is the final command. Burn your plan B. Burn your backup. Burn every exit that leads back to weakness. There's only one path now. Forward. Through. Everything. Don't you dare say, "I'll try." Don't you dare say maybe. Those words are poison. They are chains. They are the language of the dying. Your new vocabulary is made of fire. I will. I must. I am. Because karma doesn't deal in good intentions. She deals in execution. And she's coming. She's coming for every lie you told yourself, every promise you broke, every time you looked in the mirror and chose to look away. But now you look. Now you face it. Now you make her regret ever doubting you. So here's what happens next. You stop talking. You stop thinking. You move. You build the body. You build the mind. You break the damn cycle. And when you feel tired, you keep going. And when you feel pain, you use it. And when the world pushes you down again, you stand with blood in your mouth and war in your eyes. Because there is no backup plan, no reset, no second shot at this moment. This is your life. This is your legacy. This is your resurrection. And it begins now. You want your name to mean something? Then carve it into time with calloused hands and an unbreakable will. You want your enemies to regret ever doubting you? Then bury them under the weight of your comeback. You want to be free? Then earn it. With blood, with discipline, with choices so violent they leave your past in shreds. So what's it gonna be? Are you the one who stays dead, or are you the one who becomes a storm so brutal even karma steps back? Choose. Act. Now. The fire is waiting. God's karma is coming, and this time, it's permanent. So be ready, be brutal. Be the reason fate changes its course. You're not broken, you're being rebuilt. You're not ending, you're just getting started. Get up, or stay dead. This is the final order.